Hello again, it's Drew Badger here, and we're going to review a bunch more phrasal verbs. I was asked, this is another requested video where we're talking about clothing and fabric. So I wanted to talk a little bit about these things and again, show you them visually. Always, you want to be learning phrasal verbs visually, not having me stand in front of a whiteboard and write down a list of things for you to remember. Lists are a really horrible way to learn. Stories and actually seeing things visually are the way to actually remember things and to communicate things much more easily so people understand them. Anyway, let's begin. So I've got just a regular t-shirt. I've got some jeans on, which you can't see yet. I'll show you those a little bit later. But we can begin with just looking at the fabric. Again, always... I really want to make this clear without even learning anything. Just take the basic information that you know, the basic words and phrases, especially just basic verbs, and see if you can think about what maybe you could use in a particular situation. So as an example, I've got some fabric right here. I've got maybe my, this is just the short sleeve of my t-shirt. And if I start moving it up, you can see that the sleeve starts to it's kind of bunching up a little bit. So this is our first phrasal verb for today, to bunch up. It just means when you have something, maybe a line of things, and then they start kind of coming together like this when you push them. So I'm bunching them up. So my sleeve like this, it's straight, but if I start moving it up, I'm bunching it up. So I'm bunching up the fabric. Also, the second phrasal verb is when you see the fabric come up like this, you can often hear people talking about rolling up their sleeves. So maybe when you push up, and again, this is another phrasal verb, it's again how I'm doing the action. Am I talking about my hand moving up? Am I pushing my sleeve up? Or am I talking about the sleeve itself kind of rolling over? So again, it's a little bit hard to see, but when you've got your sleeve rolling up like this, especially when you have longer sleeves, you talk about rolling up your sleeves. So I can push up my sleeves or I can roll up my sleeves, and this is the physical idea of just moving your sleeve up. You can see my powerful muscles over here. So I'm moving my sleeves up. And again, when maybe people are at an office, they begin with a longer shirt, maybe a dress shirt with a tie, and then they have long sleeves. Then they can actually unbutton the cuff, and then they can roll the sleeves up. People often talk about, even if they're not wearing a long sleeve shirt, they will say, well, it's time to roll up our sleeves and get to work, because people typically, they roll up their sleeves when they're about to do some maybe stressful or physical work. And even if you're just at an office and you're not actually doing something physical, you could be typing a report or something, but you're still saying, oh, I need to roll up my sleeves. I need to roll up my sleeves. Now, let's talk about another thing which has to do with my pants. I'll move the camera down for that. All right, so now you're looking at my mid-section over here, got my stomach and my pants. I'm wearing a belt too, but right now my shirt is hanging out. Typically with a t-shirt, this is another phrasal verb, to hang out. We covered hang in a previous video. Again, something that's the shirt is just hanging from the rest of the shirt. So my t-shirt is outside of my pants. It's hanging out. It's hanging out or on the outside of my pants. Typically, you don't tuck in a t-shirt. You can do that, but this is, again, I'm trying to show you the next phrasal verb, to tuck something in. Now, if I'm going to tuck in my shirt, I could take this and I'm putting it into my pants like that, to tuck something in, to tuck in. Now, I don't want to tuck the whole thing in, but this is what it looks like. So I've got a belt and I've got my pants and I'm tucking my shirt in to my pants, tucking my shirt into my pants. Or I could typically do this with a dress shirt. Right now, what do you think I'm doing? I'm untucking my shirt. I'm pulling my shirt out of my pants, pulling my shirt out of my pants. Now again, typically you would do this more with a dress shirt than you would do it with a t-shirt like this, but it's the same thing. You can also do this on the side of a bed. So if you make a bed and you have the outside, maybe the covers are going over the bed like this, and then you kind of put them under the bed, so maybe between the mattress and then the bed. I kind of look like a mattress, I guess. But you would put them, maybe the covers are kind of hanging off the bed, but you would tuck them under the bed like that. So between the mattress and the bed itself, to tuck in the covers. So that way the covers are not just hanging down. Again, that's another great phrasal verb, to hang down. You are tucking them in, to tuck them in. And a few final phrasal verbs. The first one is to zip up. So if I have a zipper, I'm going to zip zip something up if I have an actual zipper on it, like I do on this vest. So I'm going to zip up my vest. I can also zip down. So this is again to zip up and zip down. You can also say zip or unzip, but often the phrasal verbs zip up your jacket or zip down, zip up your jacket or unzip. These are typically what people use. Now, if I have something like a nicer shirt that I need to iron, I want to iron out the wrinkles, So I will take off this jacket. Now, I probably wouldn't iron a t-shirt, but if this were a nice dress shirt and I had some wrinkles in it, maybe something the fabric is bunched up or it's a little bit maybe just wrinkled, I want to iron the shirt. So I'm ironing out. This is another phrasal verb that you might not know, to iron out something, where I'm just taking an iron and it sounds a bit more conversational. So to iron out the wrinkles. Now we take from this physical idea of ironing out the wrinkles, we get the more literal, or I guess not the literal, but the figurative way of looking at this, which is to iron something non-physical out. So let's say I have a problem at work. A problem is like having a wrinkle. It's something that you don't like, you don't want it there, so you want to iron it out. So at work, maybe I need to iron out a problem with my boss. So we are figuring out some problem with the system at work. I need to iron out some system problems with my computer. So I need to iron something out. The last thing is just to loosen up your shirt. Maybe my shirt is too tight, or I need to buy a different one, or I'm getting it tailored, so I need the shirt maybe like lengthened or shortened, something. I need to just kind of loosen it up a little bit. I'm loosening up my shirt. Or I need to physically loosen up like this. Before every video, I like to do some exercise. I get excited, get prepared for the videos. Right now, I'm getting loose. I am loosening up. Well, if you have enjoyed this video, I do highly recommend you learn more about our visual guide to phrasal verbs. You can find more examples of those video programs or of those video lessons here on YouTube. Just search for Visual Guide to Phrasal Verbs, and you can also find out more about that at EnglishAnyone.com. Also, if you want to become a confident, fluent English speaker fast, but you have learning frustrations, maybe you have problems listening to native speakers, so I'm speaking at a slightly slower pace than most people would talk normally. I'm also using easier to understand language. So if you have problems understanding people or you have problems with speaking confidence, click on the link in this video or on the link in the description below this video to take our fluency quiz. It's a really simple, real quiz that will actually tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get fluent. Most people just have a particular problem, again, like listening or building vocabulary or other things like that, that if they just solve that problem, it would help them explode. It would help their fluency, their speaking confidence, everything just explode up and really become much stronger very, very quickly. So you can learn to do this absolutely free by clicking on the link in this video or on the link in the description below this video. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. Be sure to click and like this video. Become a subscriber to the YouTube channel if you have not already. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.